Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and hello again everybody. Well, today we're doing a flip through and a bit of a review of the ancient Italian tarot. So, I have used this deck a few times lately. I've had this for maybe about a few months now, and I've done a few readings with it. One of the most beautiful decks I have come across. In fact, one of my current favorites. It's a beauty. So, give you guys a little bit of a flip through, and then we'll go through majors. We'll go through some of the minors as well. So let's see what we could line up, and I am hoping that the lighting is good. I'm going to check to make sure we are in frame in just a second, but let me see how many majors we can get in those what I think is going to be 2 rows. Okay, and okay. Alrighty, rearrange. Now, the interest in, shall we say, non-Rider-Waite-Smith decks has been growing for me over the past year. And just it all started off with one Marseille deck, and then one thing leads to another, and then you begin to realize that it's not all Marseille. There's also the Italian decks, you know what, and a lot of them are gorgeous. What can I say? Okay, let's see that we are in frame, which we are. Okay. Now, so this is the beauty of the ancient Italian tarot. The cover, showing you the chariot here. Let's see if I can read a few points here. Made by Lo Scarabeo. Beautiful cardstock. This is one of these that are made actually in Italy and still printed in Italy. Quite affordable, guys. You can find this on Amazon for you guys in America and the States, probably around $20, but a beauty of a deck. Now, also, one thing about the background here is that this, the ancient Italian tarot, is pretty much a rework on the Sopraffino, which I will link in the description, you guys. I do have the flip through as well of that deck there. So, beauty. Now, there is no particular artist, okay, where the work is attributed to. It's a team by Lo Scarabeo or Scarabeo. And so, basically, they took the Sopraffino, worked on making some improvements, or some, shall we say, newer touches in a way, and that came out. So, I believe this was out since maybe 2018. I have here copyrights 2010 actually, so it's copyrighted from 2010, and translations by Studio RGE. Okay, Art Tarot collection edited by Pietro Aligio, diffusion and marketing by Mario. Interesting, diffusion by Mario Penalio. Let's leave it there. Okay, so reissued, I believe, then in 1880. This deck. Okay, alrighty. So as you guys could see, the Fool, Magician. Now, first impressions, not really first, but initial impressions are is basically one, how rich the illustrations are. How rich in detail, and coming for someone who used to read minis and pocket sizes to actually use a regular size deck, that's a beauty. It's easy on the eye, but at the same time very rich color tones. I like how you get to see separation. Okay, so it's still what may appear to be, in a way, woodblock type printing, or the imitation of such. But here we have quite a bit of detail, quite a bit of refinement. So our Fool here looks almost identical to the, I like to say, to the Magician, Il Bagato. Nice that they have, you know what, some, I mean, I don't know if it's made on purpose or not, but those two appear related. Now, at the beginning of the deck, does that say something that, you know what, the Fool could end up being the Magician towards the end of their journey, or so something like that. Some of the feminine or the female figures also show some close relations in a way. So Italian, so some of those features do show up. Otherwise, not always Italian features. The High Priestess, La Papessa, beautiful, beautiful gown she has, the beautiful book that she has. And you could see detail. You could see she's resting her feet on some kind of a pillow there. The Empress. The Empress is just grand. That's all I could say. The Empress is just regal. A true representation. And here she is. And you guys can see a comparison now to the Soprafino, if you will. So let me see if you can see first. Yeah, in a way. If we went like that, maybe you can get an idea. But a little bit more crisper on the colors here, sharper on the colors. Here it's more faded, and that's one of the reasons I really, really love the Soprafino as well. Besides, of course, its size being a little smaller than regular. On the Emperor, we get the same grand sensation there. The Emperor and so also with Il Papa, call him the Pope, the Hierophant if you want. And it's going to be interesting because I have other decks that are new to the acquisition. So it'll be interesting to see when some of the other decks avoid completely the concept of the Pope, or the Emperor and the Empress and the High Priestess. So a new deck review that's coming, or shall we say a flip through, is going to be the Tarocchino Montieri. So look out for that one, guys. That's going to show a different concept or a different situation altogether for those four figures. Anyway, over here now we move on to the Lover card, which is a beautiful, beautiful card. Now, there's a bit of the, selection there if they are being, if they're choosing between two offers here, and Cupid seems to be pointing in one direction. Now, sometimes I feel like this could also be some kind of a blessing energy versus a competing for the lover's attention type energy. More research to be done for sure. The Chariot, again, it puts you in a real, shall we say, royal scene. You are feeling the presence. It's as if it makes what you read in a book come to reality in a way. Kind of thought that I have. Justice. Beautiful, beautiful, closed eyes Justice. The Hermit, a human look, actually, this is in fact the most realistic or close to someone I may know, a hermit look. The Wheel of Fortune, La Ruta, and yeah, easy on the eye, guys. Some detail definitely in the illustration there to take you into other thoughts. If you are one of the readers, or if you're a reader who likes to rely a lot on the image, there is so much there in this imagery or illustrations, despite it appearing that it is very, very tamed. There's so much detail that you can look into. So we look at the La Forza or the Strength card, and I like to say when I see that, I know she's making an interesting expression. I know she looks like she's shocked. Now, we may get the feeling that she appears to be forcing the line of some sort. I don't like that, but I don't see it this way. The way I see it is that days, that's not because she is so vicious in forcing that line. She's trying to take it with a grain of salt here. She's trying to get something stuck in its jaw, And that gaze here, or that strange look here, is because she's actually distracting her sight and feeling what's in his jaw. That's my take on it, or spin on it, if you will. Now, La Peso, or the Hangman. Now, that's a very, very muscular, well-built hangman. It's always a thought on my mind that the Hangman, to the extent that there is the element and thoughts of betrayal, of sacrifice, of this or that, but I see that as a meditative exercise when you're able to do that. I also see it as, believe it or not, if you have a bit of back pain, spinal decompression too, but really physically fit. And then right next we have, the Death card. The Death card is truly seeking the transformation, is truly, an end of a cycle, in my humble view. that appears there, with even some signs on the ruins or what used to be in that cycle, in that phase. Now, it doesn't make it negative or positive. It's an end of a cycle. That rain could have been some evil rain that had to end. On the other hand, it could have been things that we needed to let go of. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Look at those reds, browns, earthy, earthy, and the greens, and then the hints of gold from now, you know what, from now and then. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's move. Let me move these guys in some order and bring the rest of the majors, and then we're going to be, the suits are going to be easy. Pip decks, guys, and that's the beauty. Okay, so I enjoy so much reading with Marseille and Italian decks, and you know what, anything that is ancient and anything that gives me as a reader the freedom, okay, the freedom to read without somebody's suggested emotion or suggested interpretation. Now, these are general concepts, right? So generally there's no disagreement, okay, except for a few decks on the, you know what, order of the major arcana. But when it comes to minors, and when it comes to you know what, suits, alrighty, not even the court cards, but it's really the suits. When you have an entire, shall we say, a sword suit that is one way or another abused and bastardized by one particular deck, okay, and takes people into thoughts unnecessary at times, that's kind of frustrating. So hence the beginning of looking at Marseille, enjoying the freedom of actually coming up with a thought on your own, and then into Italian decks. Without further blabbering, here is the Temperance card, just in case it's not clear. Beauty, beauty. The Devil card, one thing I do like also, and I'll say this just quite bluntly, guys, on comparison of Marseille decks also to Italian decks, all right? Marseille decks show a lot of body parts, even though they appear cartoonish and so on. But really, I prefer, if not, okay, I prefer that the deck is something you can show, even though my kids are growing now and my youngest is getting to 16. But I prefer if it's still a little bit, you know what, there's a hint of decency. So here's the tower, a very, very realistic tower, a very indicative of surprise. There's the change, and it's a bit of a rude awakening. Someone has fallen there too. So it's kind of conclusionary into there's some, yeah, there's going to be some things changing for sure. The star is a beauty. That's one of those images where, despite the fact that there may appear to be, you know, no clothing here, but the image appears decent, guys. It's not as cartoonish, pointing you to body parts as certain times with the, Marseille, some of the Marseilles, especially with the Devil card too and the Star card. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful, and you can look at this Star card and spend time. You can spend time looking at just the stars alone, at the rays, at the direction of the rays, and so on and so forth. And now we have the moon, and we have a representation. We have the crab, if you will, and we have the two dogs, we have the path, we have the journey. What I really like here is also you can look and contemplate on when the moon's face shows up. The illustration is a bit cloudy there. Cloudy, eh? And we need that moonlight sometimes. Emotions may become clouded. Vision may become clouded. The sun says it's a new day. This sun is like almost a lover's card, but really there is the loving energy of the sun and how it impacts us, how it is a source of life. What a beauty. Speaking of the sun, we will have to talk about Egypt and the Pharaoh's Golden Parade and the sun discs that they were showing there, which were beautiful. And now into Judgment. So the Judgment card is also a beauty. You can see it truly has that sense, okay, of this is the moment of, yeah, reckoning, awakening. Some are prepared, some are not. Interesting. I love this deck. So now that we looked at these guys, so let me pull the majors and I will bring the suits and we will see we have, so that's perfect. So we got 14, just enough for every one of the suits. Now, what I haven't shown you is the world card. So let's take a look at it before we begin looking at the suits. And beauty again. Beauty. Lots of color, different colors, but they don't feel that bold in your face. They're well put together in an intuitive arrangement, if you will, along with the elements too and what they may represent. Love it, love it, love it. So this is our world card, and okay, let me just go like that and here. So we'll begin with the cups. Sorry guys, I've got a few decks here, just trying to put them in place. Beginning with our Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups. That's a beautiful ace. That is a beautiful Ace of Cups. Three of Cups. Again, the arrangement of flowers, the arrangement of vegetation, the arrangement of growth, and how it, you know, it takes on different shapes and forms as you develop with the suit, as you develop the numbers further, is amazing, amazing, amazing. Now, I'm someone who does not read reverse regardless, but this is pretty straightforward, pretty straightforward. And here's our 7. Beautiful jewels on those cups, guys. The 8, 9, 10. And here's our page. Okay, so really we need to go that way. Fair enough. Page. The Knight of Cups. They're well dressed. Notice, you know what, like they're really, really up to date on their fashion, on their style. They're so well dressed. Even the knight, who is, you know what, well, that is a very romantic type knight too, so I get it. Well dressed. No, the colors being put together, detailed, the buttons, the just more than one color in a very, very easy to look at way. I'm not going to say color coordination, but really there is talent in how they are put together in that suit, in all suits. But look at that. Look at that. King of Cups. King of Cups. Queen of Cups. Super, super kind. I see, okay, I see red hair here. I see redheads here. I see someone who looks like an old neighbor of mine here with the page. But really, very, very, very... you're in the scene, you're in their presence. If I see her, I get this royal feeling. And look at the cup she has with the arrangements and a flower there. They don't have, well, he doesn't have flowers. This guy has a little jewel here. This is a huge cup, okay? We're talking 2 liters at the very least. Just kidding. Beautiful, guys. What can I say? Alrighty, so I'll take these guys back and see what's next. And really, why do I even care about the order if I'm going to be shuffling? That was the whole intent. I'm going to shuffle afterwards, so life is good here. Beauty. Okay, now to the element of excitement, to the element of wands, to the colors that make you think, to the greens and the blues and the reds and the yellows and the blacks, but in such a, I don't know, it almost makes me not dizzy, but it's amazing. There is such order and symmetry here, yet, okay, such inspiration. I mean, as you just line up the family here, you glance and boy, are they up to business or what? Yes. Very, very, very inspired, very encouraging, very motivating suit. 5, 6, 7. There we are. Let me check on the frame. Yes. So I got to figure something out about this side of my lighting here because the glare is a bit much. If I go like that, no. Alrighty, guys. So an ace that truly says, hey, you have an idea. This is it's a big one too. Big idea. The inspiration, in my humble view, the light bulb moment, right? When you get an idea, when there's innovation, when there's some new discovery, and so on and so forth. So very, very straight up, really. The twos and the threes and all, you know what, the numbers, I get a little bit dizzy here in some of the details. So this to me looks like the number 4. Could even take me into a thought about Jupiter, but not really. I'm not going into astrology. I'm just enjoying the beauty of perfectly lined wands, and the energy around those shapes. So there is a bit likely of a hint of that sacred geometry of sort. Definitely they do trigger some amazing insights and thoughts. So I love this deck. I don't know if I said it or not, but I love it. I love it. On each side of the wands, as you can see, the decorations are different on each side. The shape takes on a different form. Very, very interesting. You cannot say, I mean, I don't know who would, but some people will say, these are boring. I don't know how they can get boring. It's all in the detail. Okay, and we agreed that Marwan is shuffling for my next reading, so we really just go like that. Okay, here, and what do we have next? We have suits and coins, beauty. So here's swords and coins, pardon me. Suits, the ace, the 2. Now, I love the beauty also of the swords in that when you look at the blues, guys, they're faded, huh? There's that degree of fading. Even here in the yellows, they do give you that aged sense, if you will. And of course, the effect that you're beginning to notice now, that once you end up in a reading with 2 cards of swords, okay, not an ace, but starting from the number 2, you begin to get that circle, funky circle effect, which is another trigger. It's so interesting. Now, in this particular deck, okay, so that will apply to this deck and to the Soprafino. Looking at the swords, and again, this is coming from a guy who does not read in reverse. So to me, my deck, it doesn't bother me, but I like to have it upright all the time to the extent possible. If it's not upright, I'm just going to upright the card. But take a look at how the swords in these odd ones here, the 3, you know, the 5, the 7, and in the 9 as well right here, how they hang from the top. So it takes me a while to figure out how each deck works. Of course, you get them fresh when they are new, but I like to look at that and just make sure that my deck, even though I will upright it, but it's still upright. Beauty, beauty, beauty. I was watching a lovely review of this deck yesterday, okay, by a lady who was an amazing channel. I think her channel is Truth in Story. She has, first of all, she has such a beautiful collection of tarot decks and oracle decks and reviews. But there was one note that I heard her say yesterday, and it's interesting. This Queen of Swords is compassionate in a way. She does have the hand close to the heart in a way. So that's a note, you know what, story or truth in story that really resonated with me. This is not this very, or the image could be a heartless woman. No, this is not that heartless energy at all. This is seeking the truth to help you out in a way. Now, the knight, to me, looks a little bit too old for a knight. I think he was passed on for the knight page. I meant to say the page looks almost like a knight. He was passed on to being knight and he is remaining page, but no. Redheads, guys, notice that, redheads. And this is Italy, right? European, absolutely European, but very, very interesting. And again, that king, you can't help but say, yes, your majesty, I see you there. The knight is like, shall we do this or what? We have a plan. We're going to go through with it. This is like detail. I need facts. I'm sharp. I love it. Alrighty. So, per the agreement, we can really bring them back in whatever order because I still have to shuffle the daylights out of this deck. Now, 2 coins, last but not least. The aces are always in these types of decks, and you know, just so royal in a way. There's always a note on the timing. There's always something that can take you back to when it was maybe printed, maybe the company that did the printing and so on. But Amazing. Now, those are coins that really inspire the thought of coins. Now, gold-ish, red-ish, focus on the coin, focus on the growth around them as well. Focus on this spiral, okay, the twos, the juggling. Focus on growth from, you know what, the ground up, from the ground up. Something interesting, guys, and that's, since we're looking at it here, something interesting about this particular three. And I'm going to, pardon me, while we do that, I'm going to find where the soprafino is, where the three, I'm just finding the three of coins in the soprafino, because I want to show you something that's interesting again. So I have them laid two at the bottom, okay, and obviously that is the upright way. Two at the bottom, one at the top. In the soprafino, they are not that way. And why do you know? How do I know? That's again thanks to some other gentleman's review. I can't remember his name now, but here, take a look at this. So, take a look at this. This is the soprafino. Okay, you would think it would sit like that upright, the three of coins in the soprafino. Not really. So the backs, and that's how I know, the backs in the soprafino, they all have this, and I'm going to bring it up now. They all have this kind of one area. You'll find that also in the soprafino review of two. That's not a 6 dots here. That's not a complete flower. You see it again here. Okay, now let's turn an upright and see what we got. Okay, we go like that. So the three here, okay, if these guys are to be upright, the three here on the soprafino deck appears to be upright that way, which may make sense as well, but I don't know if it does, to be honest. So this three here, seeing that they've already written a three and they've uprighted it that way, I think that may be the way to go, but I am not too sure. Now, will I lose sleep over this? I may have lost a few hours, but not more than that. I don't allow any more loss of sleep over that three. Okay, so that was an interesting observation. Not really my finding, but just watching a couple of good people do reviews, and you pick up on what you might find. The 4 is a beauty. Look at the flower shapes in between. Look at the petals. And again, I won't say everyone is a beauty because they all are. But now, impressions on the court cards. Page, like discipline, okay? Discipline, obedient, like ready to learn. Ready to do things properly. Listen to instruction. The perfect student, okay? The perfect discipline, a mountain goat, if you will. Anyway, the knight, seriously, a merchant. This is someone who goes off, you know, travels to Africa, comes back, trades, makes money. The queen, a beauty, the comfort, the grounded energy, the just in peace. As for Mr. King here, one of my favorites. So this king of coins, I can tell you, I could smell the cologne. I could smell the cigar. They probably smoke amazing aged Cuban cigars. I could tell that everything they do is with such class and elegance. Now, excessive, likely, but he's the king of coins, so we'll give him a break. And I think we have finished the court suits, guys, with court suits. The suits now with the coin suit. And so this was a quick flip through that I hope you guys liked. It gives you an idea on that deck should you choose to buy it, and hopefully you'll enjoy my following reviews. And with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought, and like I always say, we do love you madly. Bye for now.